can use exact same AI tool and get completely different quality of answers. How? Same model, wildly different results. The difference isn't luck, it's just how they are asking. Today, I'm breaking down prompt engineering completely. What it actually is, how to write prompts that get you on point answers, which AI tools to use, for what to use, the mistakes that quietly ruin your results, and yes, some real limitations too. Let's get into it. What is prompt engineering actually? Prompt engineering is the result of designing clear, structured instructions that actually guide an AI model towards the output you actually want. It's not about typing a question and hoping, it's treating your question almost like a specification. In 2026, the honest framing has shifted. It's less about magic phrases and more about writing clear specifications. What it is, defining role, context, constraints, exact output format. I mean, like the structure beats length every single time. So let me show you an example over here. So here, as you can see, write about marketing. It's just too vague. I mean, like it doesn't have any specific AI role or context or format. Rather, you should be writing about role, context, task, and format included within your prompt. So, why prompt engineering matters more than people think? Here's the thing, the job title prompt engineering has actually declined as a standalone role, but the skill hasn't gotten less valuable. It has gotten absorbed into nearly every job that touches AI. I'm like roughly two-thirds of companies now treat this as a standard training across all roles, not a specialist skill. So this isn't a niche technical skill anymore. It is becoming as basic as knowing how to use a search engine properly. Now, let me show you advantages of prompt engineering. It saves massive amounts of time. A well-structured prompt gets you a usable answer on the first try instead of 5 rounds of back and forth clarification. It can be more consistent and reliable output. So, especially critical if you're using AI repeatedly for similar tasks like emails or reports. It reduces hallucinations. So, it can give you fewer hallucinations. Clear constraints and permissions to say I don't know measurably improves accuracy. Let me tell you that again. It unlocks more advanced capabilities like reasoning, multi-step tasks, and more complex analysis. Generally, it needs better prompting to work well. So, it makes AI usable across your actual workflow. It's not just for fun, one-off questions, right? But for real, repeatable work. The core framework, what every good prompt needs. Instead of memorizing dozens of tricks, remember these four core elements. This covers most of what you need to know. First, its role, then context, task, and format. Role. Tell the AI what perspective to respond from. Act as a senior copywriter. It produces different output than no role at all. Keep it realistic and relevant. An overly elaborate persona just adds noise. That's it. So, context, all the background information the AI needs to actually understand your situation. Now, task, it is specific, clear action you want to be performed. Format, it has to be exactly how you want the output to be structured. Bullet points, tables, specific words count, and tone to be included in it. Miss any of these four keywords and you're leaving the AI to guess. And guessing is where bad answers come from. So, how to write effective prompts step by step? Let's make this concrete. Compare these two examples over here. So, write about marketing. That seems to be a weaker prompt. As we have discussed, we must include all these four: role, context, task, and format, right? So to be included all this, we will be writing in this way. Act as a digital marketing consultant. I run a small bakery business with a limited budget. Write 5 practical low cost marketing ideas I can start using this week itself. Format as a numbered list, each with one line of explanation. See the difference? The second one has a role, it has a context and a specific task to be done, and an exact format that has to be implemented. The AI isn't guessing anymore. It knows exactly what good looks like. So, technique 1, zero shot or few shot. So, zero shot means giving instructions with no example, just clear, direct guidance. Try this first. The models in 2026 are genuinely good at following clear instructions alone. Few shot means giving the AI alone one or more of examples, like output you want before asking for what your actually task is for. Start with just one example. Only add more if the output still isn't matching with what you need. The piling on unnecessary examples wastes efforts, and you can even introduce bias into the response. Technique 2, chain of thought prompting. For anything involving reasoning, math, or multi step logic, explicitly ask the AI to think step by step before giving a final answer. So, something like walk through your reasoning step by step, or like then give me your final recommendation. This dramatically improves your accuracy on complex problems because you're forcing the model to show its work instead of jumping straight to possibly wrong conclusions. So, while coming to technique 3, give permission to say, I don't know. This one's underused and genuinely is powerful. Explicitly tell the AI it's allowed to express uncertainty has been present in its database. For example, if the information given isn't enough to draw a solid conclusion, say so instead of guessing. That would be more straight on point. This single edition meaningfully reduces hallucinated, overconfident wrong answers because you have removed the pressure to always produce a definitive sounding response, right? So, while coming to technique 4, break big tasks into smaller ones. So, we are just making chunks of these different outputs. So don't try to cram massive multi-part task into one giant prompt. Break it into sequential steps where each step's output feeds through into the next one. For example, instead of write me a full blog post, do first, give me an outline, then now expand section 2 based on this outline, and again now you write a conclusion that ties back to the intro. Have you noticed the difference? This produces noticeably more coherent and higher quality results than one giant task. So this is the form. Step 1, step 2, and step 3. Each step's output feeds into the next one. So which AI tools to use for what? Let's discuss about it. So the first one is Claude. It has Excel with structured contract style instructions, and it gives detailed writing and analysis tasks. ChatGPT. It is strong general purpose use, especially it is quick for conversational tasks. Gemini, particularly strong with multimodal input like analyzing images alongside text too, and it benefits from clearly labeling each input type. For factual, precise tasks like data extraction, code, lower creativity temperature settings, which are adjustable, produce more consistent results. For brainstorming or creative writing, higher creativity settings helps generate more varied ideas. So mistakes to avoid. Being vague, assuming longer prompts are better, not specifying output format, treating every AI response as ground truth, overloading one prompt with too many unrelated tasks, ignoring context window limits are all the mistakes that you must be avoiding. So, being vague. The AI which we are using, it doesn't know if you want a teaching explanation, a critique, or a summary, or a recommendation unless you are so directly asked. Assuming longer prompts are better. This is myth in 2026. Clear and structured beats long and rambling every time. Not specifying output format. You will get walls of text when you actually wanted bullet points or a table. That is not the format which you are expecting, right? So, treating every AI response as ground truth. Always verify facts, numbers, claims independently, especially for anything important you are working on. Overloading one prompt with too many unrelated tasks, you have to break it into smaller steps instead. So that would be more easier for you to work on. Ignoring context window limits. In a very long conversations, the AI can lose track of earlier decisions. So, leading off contradictions or drift, if you notice this happening, it's often faster to summarize the key decisions and restate them than to keep scrolling back, right? So, you must avoid all these six mistakes. How to save your time with quick prompts. So, you don't need an SLN prompt for everyday task, right? Build yourself a small library of reusable templates for repeated tasks. You can swap out only the specific details each time, right? So for specific a reusable email template prompt, it might act as a professional assistant for you. Write a concise, polite email to the recipient which you want to send or about a particular topic. Keep it under 100 words, professional tone. So save these prompts like this in a notes app and you will cut your daily AI interactions time dramatically because you're not building structure from scratch every time, right? Setbacks and limitations. Now, the honest part, the prompt engineering has real limits and it's important you should know about them. It can't fully fix a weak or properly suited model. A great prompt on the wrong tool for job still gives mediocre results for you. Model choices matter. Model choice matters more than clever phrasing here. So, prompts aren't perfectly portable. A prompt that works great on one model may behave differently on another, right? So you often need to adjust as per the platform needs and requirements. Over engineering wastes times. So obsessively treating prompt wording for marginal gains isn't always worth the effort, especially for simple one-off tasks. It doesn't guarantee accuracy for you. Even a perfectly structured prompt can produce confidently wrong answers sometimes. So always verify anything important you're working on. Best practices keep shifting. What required elaborate prompting a year ago may now just work with simple instructions as model improve. So treat any technique list, including this one, as something to keep revisiting. Prompt engineering as a repeatable process. The real mindset shifts for 2026 isn't how do I get a better answer? It's how do I make good answers repeatable? If you're using AI for anything, you will do more than once. So build a small feedback loop, write your own prompt, test it, note what went wrong, adjust it, and then reuse it. This will improve the version which is going forward. That compounding habit is worth far more than memorizing isolated tricks. So it all depends on trial and error methodology for you. So always work on this checklist. Define a role if it is relevant. Has it given enough context for you to work on? This task is specific and unambiguous. Now, the specified output. Is it in the specified output format or not? Recheck it. Ask for step-by-step reasoning on complex tasks. Let me give you a quick recap over here. Before you hit send on an important prompt, check all these. Have I defined a role if it is relevant? Did I give enough context for it to work on? Is my actual task specific and unambiguous? And the next one is have I specified the output format which I want? And for complex tasks, have I asked it to reason step by step? Have I given it permission to say I don't know if it is unsure about it? Am I planning to verify anything factual if it gives me one? So all this you must checklist. That's genuinely everything you need to get started with prompt engineering. The advantages, the technique, the tools, the mistakes, and the honest limitations too. If this helped you write better prompts, subscribe for more such content. Drop a comment with what you're using AI for most. I'll cover specific use cases in future videos. See you in the next one.